Okay, we'll continue. Okay, now it is got some mathematical aspects which are studied in your first sem and second sem. Now, let us consider a standard differential equation of the format a into d square y by dx square plus b into dy by dx plus cy is equal to 0. I will consider a special case which we will be using in this chapter. Special case where b is equal to 0 and this turns out to be a into d square y by dx square plus cy is equal to 0. Okay, or I can say d square y by dx square plus c by a into y is equal to 0, or d square y by dx square plus n square into y is equal to 0, where n square is equal to c by a, n is equal to root c by a. Okay. Solution of this type of differential equation, solution of differential equation 1 is of the form y is equal to a cos nx plus b sin nx. Okay, now I can write this is nothing but y is equal to a cos n is equal to root c by ax plus b sin root c by a into x. Okay, this is the first type of differential equation where only complementary part comes into picture. Complementary part. Okay, the second type of differential equation can be of the format like this. I'll explain this with an example. Let me explain like this. A into I'll take this case a into d square y by dx square plus b into dy by dx plus cy is not equal to 0. Some function, say some constant, say some constant c. This is homogeneous equation, this is non-homogeneous equation, say some constant c. I will explain this with an example. So let us take an equation. For that, you take for time being, you assume that I'll assume y is equal to c. Now let us consider an example d square y by dx square minus 5 into dy by dx plus okay, before that, the solution of this type of equation, differential equation, is of the format y is equal to a cos nx plus b sin nx plus particular integral, or y is equal to a cos nx plus b sin nx plus y is equal to c, that is c. Okay, plus c. Okay, now let us consider the example d square y by dx square minus 5 into dy by dx plus 6y is equal to 24. What I will do, first I will assume my standard format b is equal to 0. This equation reduces to d square y by dx square. Even the b may not be 0, but for time being I was assuming b is equal to 0. 6y is equal to 24. So I will say I will consider y is equal to c. I will consider dy by dx is equal to 0. Obviously d square y by dx square is equal to 0. Therefore 6 into y is equal to 24, or 6y is equal to c, 6 into c is equal to 24, or c is equal to 4. Therefore, the equation where c was there gets added with this 4. Therefore, y is equal to a cos nx plus n, in the sense in this equation this is uh, d square y, this is of the form d square y by dx square plus n square y is equal to some constant c, where n square is equal to 6, n is equal to root 6. Don't worry about it. Y is equal to a cos nx plus b sin nx plus c. Therefore, this will be y is equal to a cos root 6x plus b sin root 6x plus, since this is non-homogeneous equation, c will come into picture plus 4. This, if you have understood, we can solve all types of problem. Either my right hand side will be 0, or it will be non-homogeneous equation where it not be 0. Then the general solution consists of particular integral term that constant we should determine. Whereas this case is straightforward. The solution is a cos nx plus b sin nx. Have you understood this? Okay. Now, before deriving the this buckling load equation, this Euler's buckling load, let us assume few assumptions are made. Assumptions made in the derivation of Euler's buckling load. First assumption, material is homogeneous. Material is homogeneous and isotropic. That means wherever you consider then the material that can infinite points, at each point in each direction my Young's modulus and Poisson's ratio, the material properties are same. Okay, at all the points homogeneous and isotropic. Okay, member is perfectly straight before loading and it is uniform. Third, material is perfectly elastic and obeys Hooke's law. This is a very important point. It means to say that when I talk about Euler buckling load, the buckling load, the load what we get, stress what we get should not exceed proportional limit because it is obeying Hooke's law. The load, what the crippling load, what we get, a crippling stress, what we get, or buckling stress, that should not exceed my proportional limit. It should be well within the proportional limit. Okay. Self weight, isn't it? It should not exceed material obeys Hooke's law in the sense my it is the loading is load the that is stress is directly proportional to strain up to proportional limit. So obeys Hooke's law in the sense I am not loading this beyond my I am not loading my column beyond proportional limit. So loading is well within the proportional limit. Self weight is ignored. Loading is axial. This is very important. This is one of the important consideration for the Euler buckling load. The length of the column is very long compared to other dimension or lateral dimension, that is B and D, lateral dimensions. Okay, these are the assumptions made before deriving the Euler buckling load for different boundary conditions. Okay, this is an important material is obeys Hooke's law, that is our loading is well below the proportional limit, the stresses induced is well below the proportional limit and the column is long and slender, it is not a short column. If I say a short, if you know a long column fails due to buckling, long column fails due to buckling. If I take some long fellow, Sugan, can I take your name? Okay, Suguna is very tall. If I load him, he will bend. He will bend in the lateral direction. Okay, that is along his length. He will bend in some. It will be like a curve. He will bend. Whereas I take a short column in the sense it will be bulged. Short column will get bulged. Whereas an intermediate column like me will be both bulged and buckle. I may fail by buckling. I may also crush. Okay, so when it's you should know that. So when I'll take column like this, column like this. So when do you say this is bar and when do you say this is column is there's something called as slenderness ratio which we'll discuss later. For time being, assume that slenderness ratio is less. This is a short column. So this column when I apply a load, this is subjected to compressive stress. Whereas when there is a long column, this column will fail due to buckling like this excessive deformation. This fail due to buckling. This is due to buckling. Whereas when I say short column, it is due to the compressive load. Compressive load. It get compressed. Its length decreases. Whereas this will buckle like this. It will get compressed. Its length decreases like this. Whereas this will buckle like this. Okay. Next. Next, we will derive uh, the equation for buckling load at a pin support. Generally, this is an ideal condition. Column. Okay, before that, let us difference the concept. So, when I take when I take a pin support like this, pin support like this is A, this is B, it is subjected to loading like this. This is a beam what I am talking, it will deflect like this. So when I talk about like this, it is as good as saying a support like this, a support like this, and a load like this, and it will deflect like this. So at this point, at point A and point B, deflection, since this is fixed firmly here, y of A is equal to 0, y of B is equal to 0. Deflection, there is deflection at this, both the points are 0, but not the slope. Slope is given by dy by dx. Slope at this point for pinwheel support is at A is not equal to 0. Similarly, slope at this point is given by this is the slope dy by dx. Slope is given by dy by dx, which is at this point is also not equal to 0. So when I say pinwheel support, both the ends of the pinwheel support, slope is 0 but deflection is not 0. when i say when I say a fixed support, the beam will bend like this. So when I say fixed support, the slope at this point is also 0. The deflection at this point is also deflection at this point is 0, and slope at this point is also 0. When I say point P, the deflection is 0. Similarly, slope dy by dx at this point is also equal to 0. That you should remember. And the pinner support, only deflection is 0, slope is not 0. When I say fixed support, both the deflection and the slope is equal to 0. Keeping this in mind, let us go ahead. ಯಾರ್ದು ಹೇಳಿ. Okay. Now, this is, let us consider a column. This is the first condition, column with both ends hinged In other words, it is pinned. You consider a column like this, which is pinned at this point, both the ends, and at the top end also, top end it is also pinned. But assume that is a roller support, nothing difference with roller support, and I am applying a load P like this, and column buckles. Assume that the column has buckled like this, the column has buckled like this. Okay, when I apply a load for equilibrium, this is load P. I will consider at the distance x at a, this is 0, and this is from here to here. This is of length x. This is the column is of length LE. This is 0. This is of length LE. Okay. Now I have not yet done the deflection, but time being you assume that. Okay. This I will consider. This I will consider. I am taking the bending moment about this point x. I am taking the bending moment. Now, when I apply this force, buckling load, and I want to find a crippling load, at what load this will cripple or buckle, or what is the critical load, we know that according to from deflection, this is the equation, standard equation, bending moment M is equal to EI into d square y by dx. So, time being, you remember this. Considering considering moment about xx, considering moment about xx, what is this deflection? Is it positive or negative? I'm consider always I consider moment from the upper end. Okay, I'm considering moment about this line of this point. This deflection I'll call this as y. I will consider moment. This moment is equal to, I'm considering moment about this xx axis, which consider moment about xx from a distance x from the bottom support. I'm consider moment about this section xx, which is at a distance of x from the bottom support. Okay. Now, if I consider moment, let me write moment is equal to this force into this perpendicular distance. This is where the column has buckled. This force, this is the force into perpendicular distance. Moment m, which is equal to minus py. Why minus py? In the sense, p into y is the bending moment. You can see here, if the column buckles in this way, or in this way, or in this way, this is negative buckling. So momentum is equal to minus py. Negative sign comes into picture. M is equal to minus py. Or I can write M is equal to, from this equation, minus p. I can write EI into d square y by dx square plus py is equal to 0. I will take minus py here, or pm plus py is equal to 0, or d square y by dx square plus p by ei into y is equal to 0, or d square y by dx square plus n square y is equal to 0. The equation for this is y is equal to, solution for this is y is equal to a cos nx plus b sin nx, which is equal to y is equal to a n is therefore n is equal to n square is equal to p by ei, n is equal to root p by ei. Therefore y is equal to a cos root p by ei into x plus b sin root p by ei into x. Okay. Now, applying the boundary conditions, y is equal to a cos root p by ei into x plus b sin root p by ei into x. Now I need to find the buckling load. For that I will use the boundary condition. Okay. To find the constants a and b, to find the constants A and B, we will use the boundary conditions. At x is equal to 0, at x is equal to 0 at this end, at x is equal to 0, fixed end, deflection y is equal to 0, deflection y is equal to 0, 0 is equal to a into, this sign will be 0, a into 1, or a is equal to 0, a is equal to 0. Okay, at x is equal to L, at length L also, deflection y, this is 0 here, this is length L at this end, at the next support, at upper support x is equal to L, y is equal to 0. Okay, y is equal to 0 at x is equal to L, a is 0, therefore this reduces to b sine, b sine root p by I into L. Okay, if if b is 0, if b is 0, then it means to say that, it means to say that there is no buckling, buckling happening. There is no buckling happening at all, because b is 0, a is 0, buckling happening, or in the sense there is no buckling mode, there is no buckling, this is also known as buckling mode shape, there is no buckling mode. So if b is also 0, then there is no buckling at all happening, so b cannot be equal to 0, so b cannot be equal to 0. If a and b both are 0, then there is no solution itself, there is a trivial solution, there is no buckling happening at all, there is not a possibility. Therefore, the possibility is sine root p by I into L should be equal to 0. For what values of this will be equal to 0, sine will be equal to 0, this will be equal to sine 0, sine 0 is equal to 0, sine pi is equal to 0, sine 2 pi is equal to 0, sine 3 pi is equal to 0, sine 4 pi is equal to 0, and this will continue like this. Okay. Now, if I assume, or I can write root pi by I into L is equal to sine inverse sine 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, and it will continue up or always. Or root pi by I into L is equal to 0, pi, 2 pi, 3 pi. If I assume this root pi by I into L is equal to 0, it means that my load is equal to 0 and there is no deflection at all, there is no buckling at all. If I assume, that is, for this root pi by EI into L to be equal to 0, it means to say that length cannot be equal to 0, it means to say that P is equal to 0. Therefore, load is not at all applied, therefore this condition is ruled out. The only possibility, other possibility, is the higher value, Pi by I is into L is equal to pi, or P by I into, sorry, into L, P by I into L square is equal to pi square, or P, buckling the critical load, is equal to pi square EI by L square. This is the buckling load for a pinned end, that is hinged end. So what happens if I consider, instead of pi 2 pi 3 pi, it means to say that this is the first buckling mode, this is the first buckling mode. If I consider 2 pi, if I consider 2 pi, the column may buckle like this, this is the second buckling mode. Similarly, third buckling mode, it can be one more curve like the third buckling mode, 2 pi 3 pi. Generally we stop at first buckling mode itself, even though there can be higher buckling modes, but column will fail as first buckling mode only, will stop at first buckling mode. Okay, this is about your Euler's buckling load. Okay, pi p square is equal to pi square EA by L square. Okay, but stop at this point. Another three cases we'll discuss in tomorrow and day after tomorrow classes, and the Rankins that empirical formulation we'll discuss, that completes your theory part. We'll discuss 4 5 problems that should be more than sufficient from the examination point of view. Okay, I'll stop at this point. Any doubts if you have, you can ask me. Shall I stop at this point? Shall I stop at this point? Dhruti, have you got this? Mekala?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Raghavendra? Okay, I'll stop at this point.